Hi, what's up, everyone? I want to give you kind of the new and improved AutoQA, a new UI UX, a bunch of other functionality that I think is really cool. But let's jump into this. Right, nothing too different here, other than we can now set up teams, which I'll show you. So if you have specific contact center teams with supervisors, we can create your own team. So if you have 500 agents in your contact center, but you just want your supervisor to be able to just see his or her agents, we have that functionality and we can filter for that. Again, none of this is too crazy. This all stayed the same with just a little bit of a better, more modern look and feel. So looking at the overall average evaluation score of the contact center, of the team, of however you want it filtered, looking at your highest performing agents. We have a drop down here that it will show then everybody, right? So it starts with your top 5 and then we can drop it down and look at everybody. You have lowest performing agents. Looking at your specific call types, I get this question a lot. Yes, we can figure out your call types. All we do is give the AI a little bit of kind of feel of what a service appointment call is, what a verification call is. We tell it that, and then Otto will be able to pick that up every single time. So he's able to kind of figure out what call type it is. That also helps us with scoring the form in specific ways as well. I think the other thing that's really cool that we've added is the ability to score and show kind of the trending answers to your form. So if we pull this down, we see every single question, right? And how your overall agents or your teams or however you have this filtered are scoring things. So here, if we know that, did the agent verify the customer's phone number, and 57% of the time or 60% the answer is no, maybe there's an issue with that, right? We can give, I think, a lot of data into the actual form, and again, break that down by team, break that down by agent. So to really get a good snapshot of what is happening in your contact center and what are some of the things maybe that you need to educate more on, that we need to give extra tools on, or just leadership needs to know about that we're having issues with specific things. So again, that's the quick dashboard. I think the other cool functionality is we now have teams where you can set up your teams. So if you want to just create a team, you can put your team name in, Tom's team, if I could type, right? And we can select a team lead, and then whoever Allison's team members are, right? We can just boom, move them over, and we can save this as a team. So again, now Allison can just look at her team, and her dashboard can just show her team. Again, if you're a BPO, if you have a larger contact center, if you're broken into team leads and supervisors, you want to do gamification where you can kind of do some games off each other, I think it's really important. A lot of times as well, supervisors are incentivized off the QA and off the KPIs of their agent. That's another way that you can do this as well. We have integrations now, right? So from setting up a plan, we can create plans, right? We can select this with We can integrate with CX1, with Genesis, with 5.9, and basically you just kind of name your plan, have a description of it, set your frequency, right? Choose the form that you want to QA, the amount of evaluations. With your integration, your skills or your queues will all be pre-filled in here, so you can choose what skill that you'd want to do, or do a team ID, right? Have a minimum call duration. And then just kind of set this and forget it, right? So every single day at 5:30, maybe after the shift, right, we're going to do 100. We have an algorithm that pulls the calls from before, from the day before, and randomly will select 100 of those calls based on kind of the filters that you have set up. So integrations are all good with again, 5.9 Genesis and CX1. And then again, if there's anything that we need to do for you specifically, the integrations are not a big deal. We can do some one-off integrations as well. The employee portal looks a little different as well. Again, a little bit more modern, looking at kind of what Allison has done here, over her trend, looking at what Allison has done on her specific call types and kind of the different forms and what her average score is. So again, all the agents can also look at their evaluations, right? So if Allison wants to see what her evaluations look like, we've done some really cool things with the evaluation. I think it just looks cleaner as well to show the overall score. Right, looking at the sentiment on that call, looking at 4 things that she did well on the call, 4 areas where she could have improved. Again, we can give a full call summary, right? Everybody's paying extra for auto summarization. We just give that to you on every single call, so you can just put that right into your Salesforce, into your CRM, And then again, it's just the scoring of the call, right? As easy, as straightforward, nothing crazy here, but that's what we wanted. We wanted this to look like a human being scored the call, but we're just scoring it at scale and with the accuracy of AI. If you ever want to know why Otto scored it like it did, you can click on the little question mark. And again, Otto will tell you why it scored it as a yes or as a no. And then let's see here. There are certain things too that Otto will know. If for this there was, there's no date of birth that was needed. So Otto understands that based on the question, based on the call type, if what verification is needed. If there's a retention call and there's some sales verbiage, Otto will know to NA the sales verbiage because it's a retention call. We all get that by setting up your different call types, and then we prompt for those specific things within each form. The other aspect of this that has not really changed, right? But how we do this, right, is we have a check mark for a verified form, meaning that we've created the form, we think it's good. Anything that we make or some adjustments we can make off of that, but we've just seen, again, we don't want to confuse forms, so we know these check mark forms are verified, we know they work, and we know that they're good. And really how we do this is, now this is a very simplified version of some forms that we do, but we take the question, right? We take your rubric or however you're scoring. How would you teach an agent or educate an agent on to be ready at the beginning of the call? How would you tell your QA manager to score that? We prompt a specific thing on kind of a human level, right? So we kind of do it, and then we take it to another level once it gets into kind of sending it out to the LLM. But right here, we're just kind of giving it kind of we're just telling it like a human. This is exactly how we want this scored. Again, we're not looking for keywords, although we can do really well with keywords, right? Everybody knows that AI can pick things out of data, right? If you have to have a specific disclosure read or there's some type of verbiage that has to come out, that can all be part of the prompting. But for this, we can look for deeper things like empathy. We can look for intent, and we can look for outcomes. So instead of saying right now on an analytics scorecard or a human being, when a customer says I'm really ticked off about this, and the agent says, well, I'm really sorry to hear that, right? We think that's great. We think that's empathy. We human beings, we just check that off as, yep, great, they showed empathy, when really they didn't do anything but said a couple words. We can go deeper, and we can look for it and say, hey, look through the transcript. Is there any pain points that the agent or the customer had? And did that agent respond in kind that raised the sentiment, that raised the tone of the customer in a good way, right? That made the end of the call better? Did the outcome or the intent, right, improve the conversation? We can go much deeper and think on every single call and every single question, things that human beings can't do. We showed you the integrations. We can fully integrate with this. But if you want to just do one or two calls by yourself, we can do that as well. Let's say there's a specific agent that I said, hey, listen, I just want to run and see, I got to get a couple more calls on him. He's been struggling a little, right? So again, poor Allison, she's getting chosen here. So we choose Allison, we choose the test form, we can select interaction, right? We say interactions because we can do voice, email, chat, anything that we want, as long as there's kind of a back and forth with the customer and the agent. And we just click analyze. So again, these 3 calls right now, they are going out to DeepGram. We're pulling the full transcript of the call. Normally it takes about 10 seconds. It comes back to us. We're housed on Azure. We take a system prompt that we have in the background that nobody sees. That's kind of the secret sauce, right, of how we want it to score it, how we want the outputs. We take that form with the prompting. We do some special things with that. And then we take the transcript, right? We do a lot of things with the transcript as well. We have customers that say, hey, how do you differentiate between hold time or transfer time or silence on calls? We can time all that on the transcript before it even goes out to the LLM so that we can differentiate those type of silences before it even gets to the LLM. But we can do that in the form, no problem. It goes out to, we're using Sonnet 3.5 right now, right? We're not using ChatGPT. We found Sonnet to be better for all of these use cases. And again, these evaluations come back. And let's see, this was a test, and this took 20 seconds to get the to get the transcript and 22 seconds to do the evaluation. And then here's our full scoring, right? Which we've kind of talked about. So again, this is now ready for enterprise customers that want to do integrations and want to do a ton of evaluations, 500, 600, 1,000 a day. This is here for the small customer that wants to do 500 a month, right? That wants to just do that kind of individual one. But again, think about that. If you have one of your QA agents, that just took us 30, 40 seconds, right? For a 5 to 6 minute call, that's going to take them 15 minutes. So the amount of savings that you just did right there, I mean, you can kind of do the math. But we're very proud of the product that we built. We wanted this to be initially for the smaller contact center, but we've had so many larger contact centers that just, they have a seat license that is so expensive for AutoQA that, having us be, very minimal, just a $500 setup, have no seat licenses, have no contracts, unless you want one. We can do a contract if you want one. But if you just want to try it out for $500 or for 500 forms for the first month, totally fine, right? Total usage model. If you head over to autoqa.com/pricing, there's a calculator there that you can kind of just check out and put as many evaluations in, and it will give you the exact price that you need. So really, really proud of kind of what we built. Last thing that I want to get to, right, is kind of our pre-built reports, right? So we can give you the full data download. So if you have a BI tool, right, that you want to get really in depth in these forms, we can download that. We also have a scorecard, right? So you can edit parameters, you can select a form, you can select a specific agent, right? And we can select, let's do her weekly, and we can run it. And this is per week how many evaluations we done, what her highest scores, what Allison's average scores as well. Right, so there's a scorecard if you'd like to put this into kind of their HR, whatever it is. But we're trying to give you as much cool, easy data, especially if you're using Excel spreadsheets, if you're using a Google Sheet. Right, this is a no-brainer of no-brainers for the amount of cost savings that I think you're going to get and the functionality that you get as well. So again, hope you guys like this as much as kind of we've had fun building it. Again, we're using it fully for our Expedia internal employees or employees and clients, right? So we have no one scoring any of our calls here in our BPO. So again, take a demo, come with me. It's with me. I do all the demos, right? We'll have some fun. Love to talk with you. We'll talk later.